Okay, at Jurassic Ark, we found this little fellow about 2 weeks ago. Right, you see, he's on a grey tree in the shade, and he's largely a combination of irregular spots, whitish, greyish spots with a dark background. Now, most people, I'll guarantee, would never see him. Now, I don't know about you, but one of the things that has been built into us, and you want to major on you working out how to use it, is the ability of your eyes to unconsciously detect movement. Right now, you may not see that guy when you look straight, but if you are just generically looking around the world, if he moves one bit, your mind registers it. Now, that's a skill that I've majored on out in the wild, and it helps keep you alive in dangerous country. It helps keep you conscious of what's actually out there and enables you to tell the difference between a fossil lizard and a living one. This little guy moved. Now, I thought, I've seen that sort of a structure before. This is some sort of gecko, but not one we'd seen at Jurassic Ark before. Jurassic Ark, for those of you who may be joining us new, go to our website, creationresearch.net, look up Jurassic Ark. It's our outdoor creation museum, 22 acres of actually fossils and beautiful botany and trees, etc., including this little guy. Now, there's the same lizard. I gently picked him up. Now, definitely it's a gecko. I've grown up with geckos, usually the Malaysian sort or the Asian house geckos. We'll show you some of them later. But I took him off the tree, and how good are your eyes? Notice his tail. It's flat, it's semi-fat, and yet the white strips, the white bits, have changed color. I've now got him out in the sunshine. The sky is blue, and the white patches are becoming blue patches. Now, is this camouflage? It's definitely an ability to change color. There he is after a little while longer. And I press the clarify button so you can see the colors a little better. Notice he's covered in spots, and yet his tail has got little stripes on it. And the stripes are tending to move to yellow, and the white patches are definitely becoming more blue. And he's got those cute little cling on to everything right side up and upside down feet that geckos are famous for. Well, we posted this on our Facebook page and said, who can recognize the ID? It's a gecko, and we've never seen one like this before at Jurassic Ark. Well, congratulations to the James family. Paul James, yes, we've known Marion and Paul James for quite a while. Good on you guys. Paul identifies it as the robust velvet gecko, Nebulifera robusta, of the family Diplodac. Well, you can work out how to say words like that. But it's a gecko, and it's a robust velvet gecko. But velvet gecko we knew about. So when you look at our robust velvet gecko, the robust bit is new. Velvet geckos, well, yes, he looks just like the other velvet geckos, except he's a slightly different color. Now, what's he doing? I've taken him from the shade where he was just black and white and very hard to see unless you spotted something moving. I put him in the sunshine, and he's going blue because it was a blue sky day. I don't know if he does grey on grey sky days, but he definitely did blue on blue sky days. All right, there's the other velvet gecko we found at our Jurassic Ark. We lifted up a lid that had been sitting. Well, you see the outside of the round bark there? This was a tiny space underneath a big tin of iron filings that had been donated to us for use in experiments. And in the tiny space underneath was this spotted little gecko. Now, notice he's pretty much the same shape, but he's actually a different color. I took him off the space. I put him on the ground on a piece of fibro. That's sort of like a cement board. And the sky is bluey grey that day. Notice his tail has already changed color, and yet the spots are sort of light blue, and the rest of the body is the same. Watch what happens. I put him on the ground. Do you notice a yellowing color coming on his head? Do you notice the side of his body is going to fluorescent blue, I guess. Oh, by the way, look at the color of some of the leaves. This is just a pile of gum leaves, and some of them are shady blue, some of them are shady yellow, some of them are shady orange, and it's a pile of sticks. And like most people, you'd say, he's hard to see. Well, I put him back on the side of the tank. Do you notice the fluorescence is unbelievable? What's he doing? Well, he's definitely changing color as we watch. His head has gone yellowish, but the spots on the back, the yellow is now extending all the way down, and the fluorescent blue is amazing. It really does disguise his outline for sure. Then I put him in my hand, and the sky all of a sudden was really blue. Now, we posted this on our website ages ago. We posted the new one, and we talked about how this ability to change color, the ability to appear to camouflage, the ability to do all of these were wonderful evidences of God's forethought in actually creating these creatures. Look at that beautiful color. Now, when we picked him out from under the orange-brown tank with the dirty, rusty spot, he was dirty, rusty brown. Now he's out on the blue sky day, and our southern spotted velvet gecko is doing its color thing. Wow. Now, when we mentioned the fact that this could be called camouflage, but yet it doesn't make sense to call it camouflage because my hand is pink. But boy, is he beautiful. Here's my darling wife. Yeah, a few years ago, and she's laughing seriously at the geckos on one of our back windows. I asked her to turn around and she couldn't stop laughing at what they were doing. There was a whole pack of them out there, and they were rapidly competing with each other, chasing moths. There's my flashlight showing up in the window. You see the guy in the bottom? He doesn't seem to be making too much progress. You can see his splayed little hold on to everything, in the claws. We could do a whole program on the electrostatic attraction these feet have for surfaces. But do you see the one on the top left-hand side? He's sneaking up on this moth. Now, I don't know if you've tried to sneak up on a moth, but I certainly have, and I'm a bit of a moth failure. But these guys seem to do it so quietly, the moth never knew until it's too late. Sorry, fellow on the bottom right-hand side, you dipped out. But the guy on the top left-hand side has definitely captured himself a moth meal. All right. Now, this is our Asian house gecko. It doesn't seem to be really good at color. It seems to be almost transparent. And somebody asked a question about transparent fish before. We might want to come back on to transparent geckos. But the one thing we do know for sure is we have various varieties of geckos. The ones that tend to come out at night tend to be fairly transparent to grey. The ones that were up at Jurassic Ark were actually beautiful colors sometimes. I mean, that spotted velvet gecko is unbelievable. But then so is the actual grey and white one. By the way, did you notice the grey and white one and the actual spotted one had the same range of colors? They just used them in a slightly different way. They had blacks, they had whites, they had greys, they had yellows, and they had beautiful blues, just in different percentages. So they're called different species. But the problem is the people who criticize it said, this is not creation, this is evolution. High school books would tell you that's a good example of natural selection and evolution. And I felt so sorry for these guys who'd been so brainwashed by what seems to be a blatant lie perpetuated in high school textbooks, where they think all change is evolution